Passive water and water in general is one of the most important mechanics in Townstar to understand. So water sources provide passive water to crops and buildings, and this is important to know because it'll save you a ton of time and less effort for your farmers opposed to using wells. As you can tell, this wheat that we have growing here requires more water, so the farmer has to run over to this well, water it, let it grow, come back, harvest it, and put it in the silo. So that is not as efficient as placing this in the right spot. As you can tell, this crop is watering itself. To explain how passive water works, I'm going to explain it using tiles. The amount of tiles near a water source represents the amount of water that a crop will get. So for this pond, for instance, that is providing 2 units of water, and the first tile next to it, and then 1 for the second tile away from it. This marsh is providing 1. It has a radius of 1 tile around it. So this crop right here is getting 3. 2 from this, 1 from that. This is only getting 2 out of 3 because it's getting 1 from this pond, because it's 1, 2 tiles away. The marsh, which has a radius of 1 tile, so that's 2. Now, the effect of passive water stacks depending on the nearby water sources. If I were to place, we'll say sugarcane, which requires 8. If I wanted to place the sugarcane right here, let's see how much water we would get. This tile is obviously getting water from these 2 marshes, so that's 2. This pond is 1 tile away, so it's getting 2 from that. This is 2 tiles away from this section of pond, so it's getting 2, or 1. This one, 2 tiles away, so it's getting 1. And then that's it. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Now let's see if we were right. So now obviously this is not ideal because the farmer would need to get water from another source, in this case being a well, and that is not ideal. Well, let's see if we can find a spot where the sugarcane can grow by itself. 2, 4, 6. So in this section of ponds, if I remove this marsh, we should have enough for the sugarcane to grow. Now, let's see why. So we got 3 sections of pond here, 1 tile away. So that's 2, 4, 6. This marsh is 1 tile away. That marsh is 1 tile away. So that's 8. Boom. Now, buildings are different because they are not affected by water sources like a pond or a marsh. They require water pumps. Water pumps kind of have the same effect. They're providing 1 source of water per water pump. The steel mill, which has 2 pumps connected to it, is getting 2 from that, but it requires 5 water drums. Now, water drums are essentially provided by the water facility, but they're not ideal because they require a warehouse, and you have to wait for the water facility, or for the water boy, it's a great name, to fill up the water drums, take it to the warehouse. Then the guy from whatever building you have has to go and collect it. But for something like a steel mill, which requires a lot of water, you can't, let's see, I guess you could. You could put enough water pumps for him to get 5, but it's kind of not ideal as far as space goes. Also, the water pump being diagonal counts as 1. So essentially it's still the radius of 1 tile away from this water pump. Anything around it would get 1. Looking at this, it only requires 1, so it's kind of pointless, but you get the idea. Certain NFTs also provide a source of passive water, as you can see the list here. Now, Mr. Puddles is a particular NFT because he doesn't provide passive water, but he will water your crops. Could be good in some cases, like building a pond, because you need 10 water to make 1 section of a pond, so he could speed that process up a little bit. But as far as passive water goes, this doesn't really do much good. So there you have it, passive water. Hopefully that helped out. If not, I guess you can let me know why. Peace.